Good evening, welcome to the press conference after the BKT EuroCup round 11 game between Twinsbet Vilnius and Hapoel Tel Aviv. We will start with the head coach of Hapoel Tel Aviv, Mr. Dimitris Tudis. So coach, please your comment about the game.
Good evening, congratulations to Wolves. They were better, they deserved to win. I mean, we managed to have a good opener over there in the first quarter. We could have had a bigger margin if we would be more consistent on our defensive end and on rebounding. Unfortunately, this is the main reason why we lost the game. They did hit a lot of shots, 19 three-pointers with over 50%, 52% is huge. You don't see it in the highest level of competitiveness out there in any league. And many, at least 5 or 6 shots that were well contested. But in general, the defensive end was what today hurting us a lot.
Questions, please.
Hello, Coach. You just mentioned that the defensive lack of defense was kind of the main focus. What do you think was the main reason in that defensive effort to allow that 12-0 run in the fourth quarter?
We're not nasty. We gotta become nasty.
Right. Last Sunday, you were talking about players stepping up and becoming moral leaders. Who would you say kind of took that step forward in that game, if anyone did?
I wouldn't say. I would like to have my team being all together, and if today is going to be this one or the other one, is still wearing the Hapoel Tel Aviv dress. So for me, it's going to be the same. But we got to become nasty as a team. We got to go over there and show toughness. Today, we were not there on the toughness end. As I said, we opened the game very well with a good strategy and a big lineup. We managed to take plus 13. And over there, pretty much, we thought that it's going to be an easy way to do things. But then they start hitting some amazing shots, as I said, and grabbing the ball. On the first half, they missed 7 shots or 8. They missed 17 shots, and they took half of them. 8 offensive boards for 17 misses is great. Is 50% almost.
And now with Jonathan Motley back, obviously now have the front court of 3 very capable big men, Marcus, Jonathan, and Bruno.
I want to see that. What you just said, 3 very capable men, I want to see it on the court. On the paper is everything great. On the court is what matters. Jonathan is not ready yet to play on his level, but he gave us today 7 fouls was drawn on him. He had also 3 turnovers, but he gave us 17 minutes. Maybe could have given us less on that, maybe more, but I'm saying he's not completely ready. He's in the process.
How do you view your team looking forward? Is it going to be more offensive-minded or defensive-minded team?
Both. You need both to win.
All right, and of course, your new signing, Yamadar, who you've coached previously, had a pretty substantial game today. How do you see his potential probably moving forward as he ages and matures?
Yeah, has a certain qualities and certain things that he has to develop. As weaknesses, you gotta turn it out to become advantages. So, but today he played pretty good, solid game, dishing the ball, scoring the ball, and trying to be the best out of there. Maybe he overplayed some minutes, but still, as I said, him and Raglan, they dished 14 assists. Which is great from the point guard standpoint of view. Defensively is where we lack also. Getting smaller on the rotations. Either way, whatever we do, either we're trapping the ball or we're playing one-on-one. We got hit a lot of shots in our face. That hurt us.
Coach, the player that you've trusted today the most was Marcus Foster. He was going today against his ex-team's rival of the Wolves. Did you see any added motivation from him tonight? And what is your experience mainly with him?
That's not the first game that Marcus is playing over 30 minutes. It means that he earns those minutes. It's not because I like him more than the others. Like he's providing things. He's lacking also some other things that we wanted him to have in his game, defensively and offensively. But for sure, his competitive mindset is something that helps. Let's don't forget that I ended the game with him and 4 Israeli players. And even though I don't want to make a separation of foreigners and locals, because everybody's wearing the jersey of Hapoel Tel Aviv, still he's a player that, as I said, is not the first game that he's playing that many minutes. Though one of the things that he has to definitely add to his game is more rebounding.
Patrick Beverley is one of the biggest names that came to Europe this summer. What it is like to work with such a colorful personality?
We miss Pat. We're going to miss him for a long time. I haven't worked that much, but because we had the games and travels and everything, that's also another important fact for us, because we're playing pretty much every game on the road. Almost every game for us is on the road. So we hope that he's going to come back healthy. It's good to work with him. I have worked with many great players in my career so far. So the players that they are humble and they know that they're a team of a great group, those are the ones that they, at the end, be an example. And the best way is to lead a group by example.
Beverley told today that he will stay till the end of the season, no matter what. Were there any concerns from you about this?
Well, that's something that hurts us also. He said that, the other said, I don't know what he says. I'm not following. I know what he says to me. I don't know if it's any kind of question, like somebody's leaving, somebody's coming, how are we going to become a team? If everybody's not locked in, this is what we're missing. We got to be locked in, everybody, and we got to be nasty.
Okay. And since you're coaching a team from a Middle East region, what's your opinion about EuroLeague Final Four in Abu Dhabi? Is that a good choice?
Good choice or not good choice? They had the right to vote, am I right? So they vote and they chose this. So a good choice, not a good choice. I'm a fan of playoffs. I'm a fan of expansion. EuroLeague needs to be expanded more teams and more teams that they have a financial stability and they have a vision. They need to join the best competition in Europe, which is EuroLeague. So we need to make changes in there. Like, this is my story. If you read a little bit my interviews, you're gonna understand. I'm talking about the playoffs, and I'm talking about that the last decade. While I was going with my team, CSK 6 times straight in Final Fours. Winning or losing, I was talking about expansion, I was talking about playoffs. With all the respect to the Final Four. Final Four is something, because in Europe we have allow me to say, a tri-dimensional way of playing the game. Why? Because we start with a robin round system. Everybody's playing like a championship. In all sports, you have the robin round system, right? Home away. Then we go back to NBA system, which is playoffs, and we end with the NCAA system. So in one competition, we have 3 different ways of playing the game. What's that? I don't want to mention the different approach into the way of officiating and rules. So we're pretty much saying to our fans, we have 3 different sports, different way of dimension and rules and time in NCAA, different rules and time and dimension in NBA, and different rules in EuroLeague and FIBA. Also, they have local leagues, and EuroLeague are already over there in different way. So soccer has been played in Middle East, it's been playing in Asia, it's been playing in United States. The same. Mm-hmm. Same goalposts, same rules, same everything.
I wonder, what's your opinion on this topic? There are constant talks about future of EuroCup. Since it's not profitable for EuroLeague, how do you see the future for tournament?
I don't know. I'm just joined that situation. As I said, my goal is to unite basketball in general. There are people out there that they love basketball. And in general, though, the owners, like my owner, Mr. Ofer Yanai, that he has a vision, is something that we need to keep in sports of basketball. Like also the owner of Wolves and many others that I can mention. But in order to keep them, we got to give them also a plan of how basketball can become even more profitable for them and more attractive to the fans. That already is a sport that attracts so much attention. But we need even more, because there is an evidence out there that when the game is being played in EuroLeague, the gyms are full. When the game is playing in local league, then it's half empty. So we are not political parties that we go out and there we make campaigns and say, okay, how many voters they're going to vote for us. We already have an answer from the fans. They filled out the gyms. When it's EuroLeague, double week, they want all more games in EuroLeague. So we've been called to do that. As a union of EuroLeague head coaches that I'm honored to be a representative and a president of our group, we have asked for the play-in. Watch now the play-in system, what different dimension gave to the championship. So we are here to make that game even more attractive, that game even more, let's say, interactive in many ways. So let's sit down on the table and see the things that are required to be changed in order to become better.
Hello, Coach. Question important to society, I think. How do you feel about the fact that you worked in Russia, the terrorist country during the war, while many Ukrainians, thousands of women...
Are you serious now?
I'm just asking the question.
All right, please ask somebody else. I'm not a politician, I'm a basketball coach. Sport unites. You mentioned this now to me?
Sport unites.
How you dare?
Kremlin.
Sports unites. I have many players that they work and they're coming from different passport nationality. Sport unites. Sport unites. That's what you have to present
Coach.
Sport unites.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
continue our press conference. Head coach of Twinsbet Vilnius, Mr. Alessandro Magro. Coach, your comment about the game.
So, labas vakaras to everybody. Good evening. Was an important win for us, for sure, for the standing to try to keep, the run and try to achieve our goals. And for sure, the one of the goals is to try to have the EuroCup playoff. In the second round, we have many home games, and that's really important. Trying to have this kind of performance in our arena, beating a very, very talented team like Hapoel. For sure, probably was a better game to watch for you guys. It's a kind of highlights game than for coaches to coach that kind of game. We had a lot of problems at the beginning to try to contain their offensive talent. We were planning something that didn't work, so during the game we changed it. We just showed a bit of zone switching defense, but thanks to the talent of the player that they have, they were able every time to score. Fortunately, we were able to move the ball as well. Some players were really hot, so we were able to score even some shots that probably were not completely builded. But this is something that obviously we take for the trust that we had. And I think that exactly like I say to the players before the game of Buduknosh was a kind of neat game for them, and they almost destroyed us. Tonight was a neat game for us, absolutely, to try to compete for the reason why I told you at the beginning, to stay in the group of 6 victories. We would like to trust each other. Tonight, my rotation were not so deep like usual, but we really tried to run all the players that felt the game. And we were able, in my opinion, for all the game, both coaches to try to go to the targets, so try target player, try to gain advantages. Was a kind of easier game respecting the others. I'm really happy because this is, once again, very important game to keep trusting each other. And obviously, Christmas dinner is coming, so the joys of Christmas dinner after such a win like this is for sure different.
Questions, please.
Hello, Coach. Now you have as many wins as Hapoel. When did your coaching staff begin thinking about the point difference and trying to make up for that 5-point loss?
To be honest, I'm a bit, I try to use the softest word that pop out in my mind, a bit sad about the last possession. If you see, I try to have that kind of in and out for Anthony, that he had 4 fouls. And in the moment he was out and he was the guy supposed to handle the ball and try to draw foul or something, we allowed them to score early threes with Madar, and we turned the ball over with Trishan Turman on fast break. And they then had a 5-0 run from +9 to become a tie game. And then that's the reason why I call it a challenge at the last, to have the chance to draw something, because I finished at my timeout. So obviously we didn't execute, and we turned the ball over. We were thinking absolutely about the points different, but not so early, because when one of the assistant coach came to me and say, "Coach, we lost by 5, I say, okay, before win, and then we think about winning by 6. We tried, we didn't. That's it's a sad part, but we take the win.
Right, incredible third quarter for Trishan. His two highest scoring games are against the same team, Hapoel. He was incredible in Samokov in Bulgaria. He was incredible this time. What's different about him against this particular opponent that he scores so many?
I don't know, to be honest. Why he's playing so well against them. I don't have an answer about that. But I think that if you know Trishan Turman more than me, you watched more games than me, because he was here even the last season. I think that his process and his growing is under the eyes of everybody. He's really playing a mature game, obviously. Scoring that kind of shot helps, but the confidence that he feels from the shot that he can take from the other teammates that are trying to, pass him the ball, he is really a very, very important player for us. You see now playing both roles, playing the small forward and the power forward. and he was able to find the advantages, doesn't matter what. So, they changed the matchup. They put a body like Wainwright on him to try to avoid the post-up plays, and they tried to switch to avoid. We were able to go off screen. He was able to go off screen. So I'm happy because he really looks locked in respecting what he needs and we need to do with him in this season.
As you were down 10 in the second quarter, you began changing some defensive systems. Went to a 2-3 zone, went to man-to-man, then back and forth, back and forth. What was the main idea behind switching all these defensive systems?
I mean, at the beginning, and that's the proof that the coaches sometimes make terrible mistakes in order to prepare the game. They were shooting not many threes with high percentage. But in the last game, even without such a player like Beverly, we say that they are really, really effective. Short roll, they destroyed us with short roll with Motley at the beginning, and we knew that Motley tonight was in the game. And the idea was try to be a bit more, not so aggressive like usual on pick and roll. Try to, contain a bit. Try to shrink because we would like to be able to contain penetration, the cut, and the rolls. They shot 61% 3 points. So when the game started with, Foster threes, Madar threes, Blakeney, the first two balls he touched at the threes. The threes, obviously, we should change something and say, okay, let's try to force them to overthink. So the zone was quite good at the beginning. Switching defense, at least they found, some not so easy the 3-point shot. We made a lot of mistakes, to be honest, even in order of what we called KYP, understanding if I'm guarding Ragland and we allow him to go left too easy. Madar, same, is left hand oriented too easy. But the point is that we never gave up, because in a game where the other are scoring so much and you go by 10, you can really finish like Ulm down by 20, and then could be a disaster. And we were really, really every time there. So that's the thing that I take home mostly.
Arnoldas Kulboka is once again making threes in the EuroCup. After the last game in the LKL, you gave him the match ball. Can you just express your feelings seeing a player on the court after 18 months without a basketball in his hands? And maybe about those tears that you saw in the locker room, what do you feel mainly about his emotion coming back to the court?
I mean, we would like to make what we did after the LKL game, just because, we talk about pick and roll game, we talk about choices, we talk about switching, but we are persons, and thinking about a guy was born 1998, doing basketball for his entire life, staying 18 months, out of the court with not even the idea that could be sure to come back at the level that he can play. So that's a signal from my side and coaching staff to give that ball, like say, we trust you. We waited for him so long, because even the way to arrive to be back was longer than we supposed it to be, but we made a bet on him for the person and the player he is. And now he's trying to help the team in the best way he can do. And obviously shooting the ball is one of the best part of his game, but he's really smart. He's in top of toes, getting into the system. He's a precious player for our system, and he's not even close to the level and the condition that I hope can be soon.
More questions? Thank you, Coach.
Skanos, when you will go to it. And